In this lecture, my intention is to discuss some needed to understand the next topic, that is Gauss's theorem, which is one of the most important topic in electrostatic. So in order to understand Gauss's theorem, before going on to Gauss's theorem, you need to know some preliminary ideas. So in this lecture, I will discuss those preliminary ideas based on which you can understand Gauss's theorem. Okay. So coming to the topic, we already discussed about electric flux. Which is represented by the letter phi E. E means electric. Phi is the symbol for flux. It is electric flux. So phi E. Okay. So always please write phi E, because there is another flux, that is magnetic flux, which we will discuss in a later chapter. Okay. So phi E means electric flux. We discussed the equation in general, whether it is uniform or non-uniform electric field. In general, you can write it phi E is equal to integral E dot ds. Okay, because I will explain here. You can see here, this is nothing but E ds cos theta. Okay, now if field is uniform, then you can change the equation. Phi E is equal to, E can be taken out, because if field is uniform, then E is a constant, ds cos theta. Okay, otherwise if field is non-uniform, then you can't take E out, then your phi E will be general equation, integral E ds cos theta. Okay, so here first thing you must know is why we are using integral E ds cos theta. The concept is that any surface, if you consider, let us consider a cubical surface. You can consider a very small element in that cubical surface, very small area element. For that, there will be an electric field vector pointing outward. Not electric field vector, area vector, sorry. Okay, in that surface you can find the electric flux coming out, small electric flux, because small area you consider, d phi E is equal to E ds cos theta. That small area element is actually ds. This small area element in that black shade, that area element is ds. Area vector is ds vector. So the magnitude of ds vector is ds. Okay, magnitude of ds vector is ds. So that is small ds for area. Then in that small area we can almost consider that electric field is uniform, so that you can use the letter E. Okay, very small region. So even if it is a non-uniform field, for that small region field will be uniform. So in that region you can find E ds cos theta, where theta is the angle between E and ds vector. Okay, so this small region, all the electric field will be uniform. Very small region, if you consider, it can be electric uniform. Okay, so like that you can find for all the small regions. Then if you find integral all such d phi, you will get phi E. That is what we did here in this expression, phi E. is nothing but integral d phi e. So what is it? Integral d phi e means phi e is equal to integral d phi e means e ds cos theta. That is how you got this equation. E ds cos theta means E dot ds. Then you will get the second step. Like that you will proceed. Okay, so this is the first concept. Electric flux in general, for any case, whether uniform or non-uniform, you can write it as integral E dot ds. When it is uniform, you can take the E out, then E into integral ds cos theta. If it is non-uniform, you must keep the E also inside. Okay, so why you are using ds? Because if you consider a very small element ds, area element ds, in that small region your electric field will be almost uniform, so that you can find a d phi e, very small flux in that small region. Like that, each region if you consider, you will get a d phi e, small electric flux. Then if you add all those small electric flux, you can get the total electric flux. Even though it is a non-uniform field, in that small region field will be almost uniform. So you can use E ds cos theta. Like that, find for all those small regions. Then if you integrate, you will get the net flux coming out of the surface, which will be integral E ds cos theta. So please remember this equation. In general, for any surface, you can consider electric flux as integral E dot ds. Okay, that is equal to integral E ds cos theta. Okay, this is the first preliminary idea. You must know the equation for flux, general equation for flux. Okay, now another thing, consider a surface. You are having a cubical surface. Let us consider the general case of a cube. Now imagine that you are having two charges inside the cube. One is plus q, another is minus q. Then what is the net charge? Net charge inside, that is equal to plus q minus q, that is equal to 0. Okay, so this is how you can find a net charge. If there is one more charge, minus q inside, then net charge is plus q minus q minus q, that will be minus q. So there is a minus q net charge inside the cube. Okay, if there is one more plus q, then net charge will be plus q minus q minus q, that is 0. Okay, so this is how you can find a net charge enclosed inside a object. All these charges are inside the cube. So net charge enclosed is calculated by adding all those charges. Okay, now let us consider another case. Instead of this, consider another case. You are having a plus q here and a minus q here. Plus q is inside the cube, whereas minus q is outside the cube. Okay, so what is the net charge enclosed by the cube? Enclosed means included in the cube, enclosed by the cube, that is only plus q. Why it is only plus q? Because minus q is not inside the cube. So net charge enclosed by the cube is only plus q. Okay, if minus q is also inside the cube, then net charge will be plus q minus q will become 0. Instead of this minus q here, If it is here, then net charge will be plus q plus minus q, that is 0. But if this minus q is not here, but if it is outside this cube, then net charge enclosed by the cube will be plus q alone. Okay, so this is a closed surface. Cube is a closed surface. Closed surface means all the sides are closed. So in order to find the net charge enclosed by a closed surface, you need to consider all the charges inside that surface. Okay, if there is a plus q here, there is a minus q here, there is a plus 2q here. Now the question is, what is the net charge enclosed by the cube? Net charge enclosed by the cube, answer will be plus q minus q, that is 0. You don't need to consider all these charges because they are outside the cube. Question is net charge enclosed by the cube. Inside the cube, what is the net charge? That is only plus q minus q. It will be 0. These charges are not there inside the cube, so they are not the enclosed charges. Okay, so this is the second idea, what is meant by enclosed charges and the net charge due to enclosed charges. You must know this.